Hello everyone, this is Darker Joe. I'll be going over my account review for July. Now that it's the first week of August, we're going over what's my heroes are looking like in pretty much for July. So most of my units didn't make that big of a change. So I'll just go through it. If there's any if I know there has been any change on a unit, I'll just speed through it. If you care about a unit, you can just pause it and look at the stats type of thing. But yeah, so like Yuffie and Milim, both Milims. For anyone who might have missed it, this is the main one I use. Like I use both Milims. Obviously, this is my speed Milim right here, and then right here is my Bruiser Milim I use almost all the time that you see. Ludwig, I still did not work on his crit rate. And Sirmia, my like DPS Lilibet, because for anyone who knows, I have 3 Lilibets. Aiden, who I almost never use. T-Cern. This is my speed Lilibet. This is for Wyvern, but honestly, these stats aren't the worst. I could actually pull her out in RTA as well. Just swap out the artifact. Kind of semi-bruiser C Pavel. If I skip it like that, like I just did with my Kana, it's just she kind of PvE. She's kind of like, she's just really there for Earth Expedition. I would love to use her though. I want her to get buffs to be more useful in RTA, because I would love to use her. And then my Bruiser Lilibet, who actually did get quite a big boost. I actually gave her some more attack without dropping any of her bulk, which I think is huge. Like, this is a very, very good Lilibet. This is another unit that I recently built. I don't think I had her in my last account review. Kind of like a weird semi-effectiveness ER build, Pearl Horizon. Again, kind of hard to pull her off because debuffs are kind of scary to use. Like, because you got to watch out for, you know, Edward, Dilibet. Most debuffers are AoE, so you get screwed over by like counter sets and AOL, Kawazu. There's a lot of it's so hard to pull off like a debuff units. Rage set, pen set, Jacko. With actually a little bit of bulk too. Celine. Seamerk. I use her all the time in Automation Tower, mostly, but I mean, she actually hits pretty strong. She can actually do some decent damage with her S3, S2. So I can pull her out sometime in RTA. It's just, I don't know, maybe I will pull her out a few matches at some point. I do need to change her. I think this is maxed out. Yeah, I just don't have the charms to max it out. I mean, I think I do actually. Now that I think, I do. Okay. Maybe I'll max it out later. I want to make sure I'm not gonna need those charms. Cecilia. I think Cecilia is like a very strong unit. 267 speed, some effectiveness, really good bulk, holds Arius. Like I really like using her in Guild Wars, because there's times where like you be up against they might have someone like Winter in Guild War defense, and it's like and if their Winter outspeeds your immunity user, it's like crap. I want to use immunity on I want to give immunity to my whole team so I don't get screwed over by Winter. But like a lot of these units that give immunity to your team are all like non-attack skills, like, you know, Bazaar or Kalric and ML Kalric, and like There's only like one other unit I can think of that can give immunity to your whole team off of a you know, off of a skill that can outspeed like a 260, 270 speed, you know, Winter. The only other unit I could think of like that was like ML Rin. You know, ML Rin could do it. And I'm like, well, if I make a speed Cecilia and she outspeeds the Winter, she can give my team immunity, and then I won't get screwed over by Winter's stun, and then I can actually, you know, have immunity without proccing Winter. But that's not the main reason why I use her. I'm just using her in general because, I mean, the S3 is pretty loaded. 100% chance to provoke and gives immunity to the whole team. And then with a slow and attack down in S2, that's pretty good. I might have lowered his defensives down, but I don't use it much anyway, so... But I mean, he's there. Bruiser Gazelle. She's actually a lot of fun on a Bruiser set. Like, she still does the same amount of damage, even with this low attack. So, I rebuilt up Inos. She is a lot slower than most Inos is, but she has a lot of ER on top of this as well. On top of the fact she gives herself, you know, ER buff, so she basically has like a 270 ER at turn 1. Not really fast, but honestly, that's fine because she has the ER in bulk. I think she could survive a turn or two. LRK, I think I might have lowered his ER since the last video. I don't use him much anyways. I have used him a few times, but... Dilibet, one of my all-time favorite units to use. As you've probably seen, I use her a lot, especially because a lot of people love just spamming you with like, you know, Lilius. They love using Lilius against you. So it's like, or Rand, Payra. It's like, nah, I gotta make sure that she's like one of my best built units. Lilica is kind of for Wyvern, but I could actually use her if I give her a better helmet. She actually would be decent to use in RTA. Though then again, the other Lilica kind of just does what I was thinking about doing with Lilica anyways. It's like, you know, a barrier plus defense buff, make her fast and stuff. It's like, you could just, you know, use Ocean Breeze Lilica and do the same thing. With other uses too, so it's kind of like... Yeah, and then Ocean Breeze, I think this is... Oh, I did max it out, okay. Her ER actually isn't super high, so that's one thing I do gotta work on. I don't mind her speed I don't mind how you know, slow she is. That's fine because she gets massive CR push because of passive plus this, so it's fine. Make sure not like so long. But yeah, I think the big thing I need to do is give her more ER without dropping her bulk. Ahmed, I use her all the time. Obviously, she is probably my usually go-to first pick in a lot of drafts. Because I don't really have like a good unit that like I can think of the first pick. That's why you see her in a lot of my videos. Very good unit. U-Haul I'll use sometimes. I need to make her more tankier, I think, but like other than that, I think I like the amount of ER she has. She has a good enough amount of ER. She has her speed's fine. Just make her a little more tankier from here and there. Pyrocaptive Clan. Another unit I don't really use much. What's hers? Attack or effectiveness? Attack. Yeah. I need to get this maxed out at some point though. Bruiser ML Charles. I recently built him up. It's really hard to get him with ER. I think with defense. I think I'm using. That's why he has 116 on his defense. But a pretty solid build, I think. It doesn't have to be really strong. I'm not going for the speed one because you're kind of on Bruiser side, so you need someone else to set it up for him. But like, you know, with this artifact plus he gets himself evasion buff, so. Solitaria, low effectiveness, so I think that's the big thing. But like, really, you know, it has some ER, good speed, or okay speed. Good enough bulk. Crown to be annoying, but I don't really use her much. LQC, I use her all the time in Guild Wars. She's definitely one of my go-to Guild War units. very strong. I use her obviously in RTA as well. Some say her bulk isn't that good. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, she gives herself 30% crit resistance, so. And if I try to usually use her with like Rose or any other Arias holder, so. Bruiser, Mercedes. Really bulky, kind of low damage though, but honestly, I think this is fine. No one expects how tanky she is. Because of that, she's very annoying to kill. Friends, even at this low damage, would still hurt a decent amount. Though I haven't used her in RTA yet. Because a lot of times if I'm going to use a bruiser style fire unit, especially being a fire mage, I'm probably just going to use Milim. But I should probably use her from time to time. Yuffie, definitely not change. I don't think I'm ever going to change her build because she's just like this is one of my all-time this is one of my favorite builds for a unit. Really solid defense and health, really good attack, then high speed with knowledge with guide to decision. Like honestly, I don't think there's any reason to upgrade anything on her. Maybe effectiveness at some point, maybe, but no. Carrot, I recently built her again. Yeah, decent bulk, I guess. Decent bulk, decent speed, some effectiveness, but I mean, you're generally gonna be hitting you're generally be going for the, hitting the non-ER units anyway. So, okay attack, kind of Wyvern. Then Charles, you've seen quite a bit actually. What people probably don't realize is that my Charles is on Destruction set. He's not on counter set. I mean, he obviously is on Elpris, but so all these Charles videos you're seeing in me, they could just be hitting him, and they'll be safe. But no, really good bulk for Charles, decent attack, crit, some crit damage, pen set. He's a lot of fun, as you can tell because I use him a lot in my videos. Luna, kind of the same exact build as Charles. Now that I think about it. About the same exact bulk, same attack basically. Roughly the same. Oh, actually, I think she's 20% crit damage less, but and then Sigurd Scythe. PvE kind of. I don't really use this specifically for any PvE, but I wouldn't mind pulling her out in PvP at some point. So I may build her on RTA builds. Mui, technically my fastest unit if we don't count Zeo. Though my Zeal's bad now, so, but, yeah. But, yeah, really decent, really good for a Mui. Get some effectiveness, okay bulk. Her own artifact. She's just, I use her sometimes, though. Mainly if I'm planning to use, CDOM or, Commander Pavel. Maya, this is my surprise knight, like 281 speed. Decent, kind of low for an Arias holder, but she does give herself defense buff, so pretty much if I'm gonna try to outspeed you, I'm probably gonna pick stuff like her. Unless I know you're gonna outspeed me, then it's fine. AOL, I pretty much ban her anyways, so I don't get a chance to use her anyways. But so yeah, because lately my pre-ban has been Politis and AOL, so. Moon Bunny, still one of the best units in Guild Wars in general, especially because the amount of Liliuses that's running around, so she's still an amazing unit. Bit harder to pull off in RTA though, but haven't changed her. I might have lowered her down a bit, but she did just get buffed today, so I may have to work on actually giving her better gear. I mean, like right now, she's at decent speed. If she procs her passive now that she pushes up like 25% or 20% CR at 223, she's gonna pretty much cut anyone at that point. So at this speed though, it's actually not bad. And now that they increase her damage, I haven't tested my Sirmia yet, but she actually might do some serious damage. So maybe this build isn't necessarily the worst. If I could just give her more health and defense, I think that'd be fine. Yeah, my Bruiser Sylvan Sage, where I'm like insanely tanky. Like I've actually survived Solitarias, so I, you know, when her passive isn't working, basically, because the amount of bulk she has plus chatty, and you obviously you're gonna probably put her with an if you're on this build, you're gonna be using her with an Arias holder too. So she ain't gonna do a lot of damage, but you know she'll do enough. I am recently reworking on Maid. Honestly, mine's a bit too squishy, low ER, but like I'm gonna have. I gave her Bastion. Eventually, I'll get ER. I'll get imprints. So when I do, you know, 27, I think that if I give her max imprint, it's be 27. So that'd be what, 167. This is 70, so 230, 235, or 237 plus this, so 257, which would not be the best, but you know, it'll be usable. Dizzy. I rebuild Dizzy. Basically she's there to be a surprise last pick. Like if they're picking units that don't punish Dizzy, and I'm like last pick, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna pick Dizzy and then force you to ban it. Because you don't know if it's a counter Dizzy or if it's a speed Dizzy, and if I see a time I can pull her out and force you to ban her, I'll do it. Acades, pretty solid. Mainly for Guild Wars, but I pull her out sometimes in RTA. I have a few videos with her. Rose, my go-to and mostly my only knight that I mainly use. Well, Arias knight. I mean, I have a few Maya games, but yeah, she is my go-to knight, pretty much. I still don't get why no one ever uses her. You don't have to be 270, 280 speed Rose to make her good. Just make her tanky and Arias holder. She's the only knight in the game besides for like Christie that gives your team attack buff and has CR push. And Christie's a very situational CR push. Bellona. Another really fast surprise unit. So I would sometimes, I haven't pulled her out yet, but again, it's kind of debuff. The whole situation about debuffs being kind of annoying. But honestly, I need to use her more if I'm gonna. I should probably use her more as like the, I'm trying to surprise counter people with like, you know, Bellona or Maya. I lowered down my Calric. I need to rebuff him up right now. Right now he's like on really crappy gear because I took some of his gear off. But honestly, this is still doable. 25k HP, almost 1500 defense, 240 speed. That's still like, that's pretty much like bare minimum of like what you want on him. This is still good. I haven't really used Abigail much. Surprisingly, I thought I would love to use her more. Like I think I have a decent build one. Not the best speed, but good enough. I need one more imprint to max her crit rate. Her speed, her health is not the greatest, but then again, she's using Edward's stat line, so Edward's got really bad stat line, so that's why her HP is bad. Landy, I'm kind of on a bruiser, low. I don't know. I just toss gear on her. I don't think this is what I would want to use on her anyway. Because if she's going for like the bulky and less speed one, I'll probably put her on counter set, but I tried to pull for ML Landy already. I'm gonna get her though, but I'm only like, I only had enough for like 70 something summons, and then I was like 85 away from pity or something like that. So honestly, I think I'm like 7 or 8 more away from getting her. So eventually I'll get ML Landy, you know, within the next week. So then I'll build her and I'll figure out what I want to do with her. I think I took gear off her and so I kind of made her weaker too, but like I haven't used her, surprisingly, you know how much I think she is underrated, but again, it's kind of hard to pull a unit like her. Sharoon, I haven't used her since her buff, but I think she's still a very solid unit. Lethe, I still need to work on her awakenings though. but I think this is a pretty solid build on her, kind of. I went for the effectiveness too a little bit so I can land some of her debuffs. Arunka hasn't really changed. She's still doing what she does. I run lifesteal because I'm weird. That's kind of PvE. I don't really use you. You're kind of PvE. I don't really use you. Spez hasn't changed. Still very, very, very tanky with low attack. But if you crit, it doesn't matter. I mean, not crit. If you hit a stunned unit, it doesn't matter how low your attack is, pretty much. Unless it's like Proof of Valor, Arias, you know, Arabi, then maybe. But Fat Cat, I haven't used him much, but they got the video with me using him. I don't know if that was before or after his buff. Ken, kind of decent stat line. I mean, the health is way too low, honestly. Decent defense, okay speed, you know, max array because of the Ezra comment, and like everything's fine except for the HP. I need to make him like 25k HP at least. Edward, like I was talking before, very bad stat line, so it's kind of hard to pull off good stats on him. But his defense is still a little low too. Good speed though. I like the whole faster speed. Rimuru. Honestly, you can literally build him any way you want. I've even seen ER Rimurus destroy people. You can literally build him like, you know, glass cannon that could just destroy anyone, or you can build him full tank and be super annoying. That's there to kill like squishies. So like you're literally, as long as you're I-90 on all your gear or 88, you're good, honestly. Just have you know a direction you want to go on Rimuru and you're good. Valencia still doesn't change. I still really like my Valencia build. Festina, I think I might have lowered her speed down. I don't know. I think she was like 216 speed though, so I think I lowered her speed to give her a little more bulk. Zio, I know I lowered his speed. I took some of his gear off for someone else, and I don't even have a maxed out book on him right now. I do not care for Zio, honestly. He's just there. Burnout, Lilius. You know, I haven't changed her since, I don't know, did I have her built last? I think I still had her built last one, yeah. I rebuilt Clury as a Unity counter set. So she's there to kind of like be a semi-counter into like AoE units, because she has Elbrus as well. Like they hit you with some like Rand type of thing, and then she pushes up because she'll counter, and then she'll push up and then stop someone. That's the idea. I haven't used her though, so I don't know if it works or not, but, you know. Also, with Unity set. Oh, man, okay. With Unity set, you know, there to also be annoying and constantly pushing yourself. I don't know if I had her on tank build, the last one I did. But she's there as like a really tanky unit, just to survive as long as she can. Obviously, she says this. I still think this is easily the best artifact on her because, you know, giving your team 20 souls, or, you know, giving yourself 20 souls when an ally does an AoE is huge. Not to mention it helps you with the whole pushing yourself forward. And you can cut units because, you know, she already pushes by 20, and then she has this, so she pushes up by 36%. Which actually, wait, now that she does restrict, doesn't she? Yeah, she does restrict, so, you know, it could be fun and unhealable. Charlotte hasn't changed. I don't use her much, but I probably should because she's still a very solid unit. This is still a pretty decent build, kind of. Shu, I haven't changed, but very low health. You know, it's Shu. Everyone hates the rat. Kairon, again, hasn't changed for him. Aravi, I haven't changed Aravi. I still think she's solid enough. A bit on the squishier side though by Dracoplate. SSA, I used her. I don't know if I used her in my videos. But I like her to have really high ER. She has okay speed, considering that she has one of the lowest base speeds in the game. That's decent speed for her, and decent bulk. Rebellion, I have her on Holy Sack, and not even counter set. No one's gonna know until they find out later in the middle of the match. So I'm like, I don't care. They find out that she's not on counter set, and or the fact that you just picking her scares people into like, oh, I'll just pick Cermia, or something like that. It's like, I'm not gonna counter you. So Sheena, really tanky, not high ER, but just to heal the whole team, and then with this too. SBA, I think my video's been going pretty long. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of speed through this now. Like SBA, pretty solid. I haven't used her in any RT matches recently, but I do use her sometimes in Guild War. Charlotte, I think I had her built the same way last one too. Stunbot Melanie. And same with this, you know, Angelica, counter set with Eidos Cheer. I like her build though. Kawazu, a little on the squishy side, but really high attack with Ouyang's artifact. Requiem Roar. Where is her specialty change? Come on. Counter Politis. Usually Politis is my band anyway, so I'm not even getting a chance to use her already. Cdom, one of my all-time favorite builds, because I have her on a really tanky build for a Cdom. This still is a lot of damage, especially if you're layering her with other AoE crit rate units like Mui, or using her with like my speed Ufine. She does an insane amount of damage still. Maybe she can't one-shot Proof of Valor Ravi, but you know, she will survive hits too. Violet. A little on this. Well, actually, no. This is not bad for. A Violet, especially defense-wise. I don't think most Violets don't have this much defense. Violets are usually like what, 18, 19k HP, like 1,000 defense. But a little weak on the attack-wise though. Bellona, still one of the, probably arguably one of the best Guild War units in the game. Right now because of the meta, I don't use Senya. Senya's kind of PvE right now. In a way, I kind of use it for Expedition. SSB, kind of have her on a hybrid like crit build, but also lifesteal and stuff. Her crit's low, but it's like, hey, she's gonna, if she crits a few people, she'll heal a lot still because she's all AoE obviously. I don't use her much, but I do kind of want to use her. What is this on? Health wise, okay. This is another fun one. Proof of Valor, Gloomy Rain, counter Unity set. So she has a little bit of tankiness because the Proof of Valor plus her stats aren't the best. Honestly, if her defensive stats were a little bit better, like if she was like 1400 defense, like 12 or 13k HP, then I would say this would have been a really good build. Maybe with more, obviously, max crit rate would be nice too. But like, I mean, they're not all, it's not fully upgraded too, actually, so maybe they might make some more higher points and stuff like this. Ilnoth's fun. I like Ilnoth, but I don't use her much. Dominion, do I have it? Yeah, I have it built. Some ER actually too, some effectiveness, good bulk. Barrier set too, actually. I just remember I put it on barrier set. Soul is not fully built. Crisette's not. Oh, Crisette's missing artifact. Ram on a lower Sacred Scythe. But once you get points on here, 20k HP, 1150 defense, okay crit damage and attack, pretty solid, I think. Recently started rebuilding ML Ken, but it's ML Ken without ER. It's got okay crit damage, got pen set, it's got kind of weak defensive stats, it's got a lot of attack. I just tossed on Golden Rose for now. Shuri, I don't know what I'm doing with Helen's gear right now. Aether's still built, yeah. I don't know if I'm just gonna have it on Aether and then give his gear to someone else eventually. Rowana, it's kind of PvE built, and everyone else here down here is not built. I think there's a few units I wanted to work on. Kind of in the middle of slowly working on Karen. As a Bruiser Karen. I think was it Bruiser Karen? It was Bruiser Karen. Okay. At some point I'm gonna be working on her. I think I'm also working on Bruiser Ram at some point too. I'm kind of trying to get the gear ready for that. Then with Teiyu. I think it was Bruiser Teiyu as well. On a destruction set. So that's another unit I'm working on. I also want to work on Kawana at some point too. Bruiser Kawana. Other than that, I should work on Mort, because Mort got buffed and he's actually very good now, or at least his kit makes more sense now, so I don't mind giving, you know, Mort some more chances. I would love the her to be buffed too, actually. And yes, I'm not using Lilius. A lot of meta units I'm not using. I had her built a while ago. And I stopped using Gaither. But I will probably rework on Gaither at some point. Anyways, those are just the general units that I use right now. But yeah, I'll do a next account review. Hopefully I'll have my microphone, that'd be more easier to talk and stuff, because this one's kind of weird. My microphone, that's why it's really bad. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video.